Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. We are on to the student showcase. Do you want us to sit in the audience and
Yes,
everybody
please.
come up here?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
we will do
You
that.
guys go, or the boys are.
Go boys.
Yeah. Why don't you guys get up and move over there so they can sit in your seats and take your check with you. Keep it.
Never say bye to the sideshow! Yay!
Yeah. Do we need to give any background information?
Yeah, we were going to do that. It just started to play automatically. We'll let the size show start out.
Danny, you might want to? Yeah. All right, so we did, you know what, I'll just say. We had to do a project on making an impact in our community in our social studies class, and we didn't want to do just a little, like a boring little slide, so we decided to do something creative, and we decided to make like a talk show for our project, and yeah, this is it.
Here we go.
Awesome. Good job, boys.
Sure, it's going to play now.
Hello folks, this is me, Isaac Peterson, and Sam White tonight on the SciShow. As you guys might have known, we are doing a project in our social studies class named Making an Impact in Our Community. We said that we had to pick a business and somehow make an impact on them. So me and Sam picked JDRF, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund.
The standards were just for beginning financial literacy concepts and beginning work readiness skills.
Why did we pick JDRF, you might ask? Well, they said that JDRF had to be, the project had to be close to our heart. So we picked JDRF because the kid on our baseball team has juvenile diabetes. That's why.
What we did to raise money was we sold these necklaces that we're wearing here.
I'll take one off, so.
And here, the blue, red, and white from Merton Mavericks.
Yeah.
And we sold them for $5 a piece, with all the money going into JDRF research fund.
Yes, and once the orders started coming in, we put them down in a dock to make sure that we had control of all of them. And you might ask how much we raised. Well, let's get a drum roll, please. $850! $50 going right to JDRF. People who helped us on this journey were our parents and our coach. Our parents helped us get our pictures with these necklaces on Facebook, which got all the orders coming in, and our coach helped us with stuff like letting us cut 2 minutes off of practice for us to announce it to our team.
Yeah. What we learned was that it's always great to help others out, even if you don't know them. Like, people love helping others out.
People do love helping others out. Like it, they do love it. Will this be ongoing for us? Yes, it will be ongoing. For our first baseball tournament, we will be setting up 2 tables at Fullworth and Merton. Yes, and they will be selling these necklaces. So yeah, those are our next steps, and we're getting pretty excited about it. What do you think about it, Sam?
I think it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun too.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Let's go, one more time. Remember, it's the SciShow, the SciShow. Never say bye to the SciShow, yeah!
They're heading off to practice. They need to get back to practice. Job, guys.
One more.
Alright. Our standard was demonstrates beginning work readiness skills. We chose this because we were going places and selling and getting donations and emailing and calling and all that stuff. Here's our intro. Hi, I'm Audrey. And I'm Elena. We made an impact on the organization CNI, dog guides who helped the visually impaired. We went to Pick and Save and set up a booth in the lunchroom. This is what happened in our journey. What we learned. We learned how hard it is to contact people or reach people. We learned how hard you have to work just to get a few bucks. We learned how generous people can be. We also learned that it is hard to reach your goal if it is big. We learned to manage through broken blenders. By the way, when we were working on this project, we heard something fall and there was a blender on the floor all of a sudden. So we had to clean up a bunch of glass, but we still got through it. And also miscommunications. We went to Pick and Save, and we went to set up a table and donate, help donate money. And Pick and Save thought that we were asking for them to donate to us, so that was what happened. We still got through it. Yeah. This is me and Elena at Pick and Save. We are raising money for our fundraiser, Pennies for Puppies. We got $50. What surprised us? It was surprisingly hard to contact people. I thought it would be easy, but I was wrong. We had to make sure we were calling the right place and location, which was also hard. It really surprised me how people are so generous, how fun it all was, and how much fun. Our highs and lows are, my high was that people were so generous. People were giving us $10 bills or $5 bills. My low is that we have to end this project. This was probably the most fun assignment I've ever done. My high was that we got a lot of money for our organization, the CNI. My low was that it's hard to reach your goal and some people aren't as generous as others. There's also a low that we have to end this project. How we grew from this. I grew from this because I learned how to reach out to people I don't even know. I grew from this because I learned how to work with money, how to email and call people, and how hard it is to be a grown. Will we continue this? We are both hoping to continue this. We want to at least get $100 to give to our organization. At first, we thought this project was going to be really easy, but we were wrong. Once we started every day in the morning, we would be really excited to go to social studies. We do not want this project to ever end. Conclusion. It feels so good to know that you're helping somebody. Just to be willing to stand behind a table for 1 hour can impact someone. In our case, impact blind people. We even had one lady give us a $5 because her son was blind, and she was so happy that we were doing this. We got a total of $72.51. I think we did a decent job. Thank you for watching. We are close to our goal, and we are hoping to raise even more money. Nice job, girls.
Press this one too. Okay. I don't know if I can sit down or stand up. Okay.
Dyslexia Awareness Project by Haley Hall, Gabby Sullivan, and Neuman.
Just you guys point when you're ready to tell me.
We chose to raise awareness for dyslexia for our social studies project. We also decided to raise money for our school to help our students who struggle with reading. We created a YouTube video and sold bracelets while sharing information about dyslexia. We spread awareness to hundreds in our community, family, and friends. These are the big bracelets we sold. raised awareness by creating an informational video on YouTube about dyslexia. All of our moms put the video on Facebook. We shared the video with Mr. Hosick and Mr. British and asked them if they could send it to all the staff and share it with their home class. Lots of our friends and family wanted bracelets and wanted to donate towards our cause. That is how we spread the awareness about dyslexia and raised money. Our highs and lows. Highs. We raised $1,000. A lot of people wanted our bracelets and donate. Our YouTube video has 200 views. Our project was very successful. Lows. We weren't able to do what we originally wanted. We were originally going to make blankets for Children's Hospital, but we found out that Children's Hospital doesn't take anything that is not packaged. Since lots of people wanted our bracelets, we sold out before our stand at lunch happened. So that is also a high. Standards. Understanding the relationship between the community and its economy. We are helping our school community by giving the special education department supplies and tools that will help struggling readers. Applies and demonstrates mapping skills. We had to map out which houses we went to and who will buy and donate. Demonstrates beginning and work readiness skills. We had readiness skills because we were ready and prepared for the donations. We were well rehearsed with our flyers. Our passion to raise awareness gave us the courage to reach out to our community for donations. Conclusion. We spread awareness for dyslexia by making a YouTube video and selling bracelets and keychains. Our YouTube video reached over 200 views, and some of the teachers showed the video to their homeroom students. We went door to door through different Merton neighborhoods sharing a flyer about what dyslexia is and sold bracelets. We also raised awareness at our school by sharing our information at a booth and in our classrooms. We raised $1,000. We talked to the special ed teachers and asked them what tools we could buy with the money we raised so it can best be used to help all Merton students who have difficulty with reading. We worked with our moms and got tools that the teachers suggested for our school. That's our video as it's seen. That's pictures of when we were selling bracelets. Thanks for listening.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Excellent job, ladies.
Do you want to mention anything about this? Mrs. Jones, do you want to mention anything about this? So now we have our sixth graders that are going to do their showcase stuff. So Mrs. Kastrowitz and Ms. Pizzo are here to introduce some kids. We're going to working on trust.
Sixth graders, come on up, please.
Pizzo and I are thrilled that how many of you are here tonight, willing to volunteer and to share our project with the school board and with the audience. So, this project goes with the Project Lead the Way Design and Modeling course, which is the introductory project Lead the Way course for middle school. And Pizzo and I have a project every year that goes with the final design and modeling where we bring in the 3D printer and we have engineering drawings and the teams go through a whole design process together. So we're excited to share what we did this year. And looking to the future, actually Ms. Piso and I are going to Arrowhead this week to meet with Arrowhead Project Lead the Way teachers about moving forward and pursuing a grant for student enrichment and looking into things that we can do for our fabricating of our prototypes. We do have our prototypes in the back, and the students worked really hard on them for many weeks. And so we're hopeful that we can find out even more opportunities for different kinds of materials or machines that we can bring in to help with making prototypes.
Sure. So our 6th grade curriculum, the kids have actually seen these standards all the way from elementary on. It's our way to tie together the next generation science standards. So the students had different focuses on some of the standards. Ones that we really focused on, of course, were developing and using models. They had to look at innovative toys that you'll see that were already created. How can we either improve them or create a brand new one to kind of be innovative, to see what else we could help our patients with. They obviously had to collect and interpret data, so it was a lot of mathematics. They created graphs and had to interpret their data when they got feedback. Communicating information in creative ways, you'll see a lot of the different ways that they were able to do that. And obviously, their design solutions that you'll get to see showcased today were pretty awesome. So just a creative way to incorporate the different standards that we see.
So in the past, we've done Shark Tank, we've done Mars Medical. We have tried to keep with the Project Lead the Way basic engineering of biomedical engineering for this final project. So this year we decided to do Kickstarter. And so now the 6th graders are going to take over. So Alicia, we start with you. Just introduce yourselves, and then we'll go through, start with your slides.
So I'm Elise. I'm Brenna. I'm Erica. I'm Emma. I'm Mama. I'm Molly. I'm Callie. Ella. I'm Izzy. I'm Jarrett. So where the how teams was advanced is that students would vote and then top 6 teams would go to teacher voting and then to the live panel, and then from that they would get the final decision of which is best. Yeah. Yeah, so in the end, so in the beginning we had our judges were our teachers, and then we went on to having two of the judges being from teachers at our school. And then in phase 3 was, we had like an engineer, a patent agent, and then a physical therapist. And then in the end, we decided which one had the best and most effective toy for what our goal was, and we ended up having a 3-way tie. So this is our rubric for phase 1, using our MCSD icons.
So all the teams were scored on this one.
Yeah.
Right here.
Okay, so first we had to do research on cerebral palsy. So we used all the sources that were on the slides, and we made notes out of it. So we would just do like, what is it, and like different types of therapy and how it worked.
And then Jared, you're going to talk about what kind of toy were you guys supposed to design, and how does it tie in with the research on cerebral palsy?
So we were supposed to make a toy that would help people with cerebral palsy, like grasping motions, and help them like spread their range of motion. writing charts, science notebooks, and STEM lab. So we have like a problem statement and a design statement, and we use that to make a toy. And then we have criteria and constraints and how it would affect our design. So we have to come up with a lot of ideas for like to make several pulsey like toys. And so then we all decided, like we voted for those categories kind of, and we all of our teammates voted, and like that's how we decided which one we wanted to do.
And what's also really cool, Mrs. K and I, when we visited Arrowhead, was that 2 weeks ago now?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we saw, so we were able to see some of the high school students going through the same design and modeling process with a different challenge, of course. But it was so cool to see that they also use this decision matrix and how it applied to their project. So for these kids to know that this is going somewhere, it's not just, oh, they're making us decide this and vote on things. It actually serves a really great purpose to really weigh the criteria and constraints and which design is truly the best based on that criteria. So it's cool to see it in high school too.
So we had to collect all of the data that we received on our toy prototypes and try and see if we could make the toy better based on the data that we received. So what we had to do, we tested a bunch of people that we could, and we pretty much like took data from however our toy was used. So like, I know for my group, we used how long it took them to get the car to the end of the track. And we used this data to see how we could make it better, and then we made a graph too.
So while we were making it, we had to go on Inventor in the STEM lab, and when we did that, we had to do different prototype views. So on one, we had to make it, we created the on Inventor, so we made it look like a real hands-on model, but digitalized, and then we did a multi-view sketch where you could see it in different angles. So these are all the prototypes that we came up with and built ourselves. We all, we had materials provided for us here at school, but some of the materials that we had to be provided from at home. These show 3 of the ending, we had a 3-way tie for the winners, and these were all 3 of the toys that were created by the winners. Okay, so we made slides that replicated websites, and we had to include like videos and about us.
So each slide represented something else about our toy. Like one of the slides was the data that we received, and another one was the video talking about our toy. And so the slides just represented our toy in a deeper explanation.
For presenting, we had to present in front of like our class, and then for the second round, we had to present in front of 3 judges, and then for the last round, we had to present in front of 3 more judges, and they decided who won.
So we can start with Jarrett, and if you could just share a little bit about what was it like to have to present to the judges. So the phase 1, all the teams presented to the teachers, and we scored them and graded them. And then for phase 2, though, Ms. Pizzo and I were not in the room at all. So the teams went in alone with their prototype and their presentation. So what was that like?
I'd say, it was sort of scary.
A little nerve-wracking?
I thought that it was like really high anticipation. Because like since all our toys were made from scratch, I know our team worried if something like fell off in the middle of the presentation. They were all very nice, but in the beginning I was really nervous that it wasn't going to turn out like as you said, that our toy was going to break or something was going to go wrong. But
It went really well at the end. They were all very nice, and I'm happy with the way our presentation turned out.
It was scary at first, like the first round, and then once we got like to the second and third round, it wasn't as scary. Yeah, I thought it was like kind of exciting, but it was also like nerve-wracking because like you didn't really like want anything to go wrong, and you didn't really know what like you were doing at first.
I have to be honest, I was really scared of the whole thing.
I was nervous, but I was happy that I got it done with.
I think that going into it, it was like kind of scary, but then once you got in the room and you were presenting, it just like was like how you were doing, and you just kept going. And then once you were done, like it was just like that was fun and stuff. But it got more anticipating every time going up to a higher level of judging.
I think that it was scary, but in the end, it was a really fun experience, so I'm glad I had it.
For me, it just got scarier as we went on. Because the people judging, they felt like more important as they went on.
For me, I wasn't really that nervous. It was just a little scary until like once you were in there presenting, sort of like Emma said, it wasn't that bad at all.
We were very proud of it. For phase 2, the 3 things they were graded on were constructing solutions, and then their use of models, and also the use of argument, which that's one of the MCSD practices as well, as scientists engage in argument. So Mrs. Jones, our literacy coordinator, was one of the judges looking at the argument angle part of it, and that's Mr. Christian, the Arrowhead Project Lead the Way teacher, and they listened to all 16 that we put through, and then they selected the top 6, and I keep tripping over the chair. And then this is phase 3. Phase 3 was Mr. Phil Spindler, thank you again for doing that. Professional engineer, Mr. Paul McGinley, a patent agent, Mrs. Diana Sousa, occupational therapist.
So it was really cool that for phase 3, they literally got to present their design solutions to people in the field. So obviously Mr. Spindler having that engineering background, the questioning, of course, too, made them probably think about different things maybe that they hadn't thought of before. Part of their research for cerebral palsy was to watch videos and to gather information from an occupational therapist in the field and what has worked for them and what they were kind of looking for as far as a toy goes. So it was really cool to have that real life experience for them and to talk to the experts in the field.
And for the presentations, they were under a tight time limit. How many minutes did you have?
2 minutes.
They had 3 minutes and 2 minutes for questions, and then we opened the door and the next team had to come in. So they had to really rehearse and get it down to a really tight presentation. So each of the phase 3 judges had debit cards and up to $100,000 to invest. And so
It was fake money, not real. The kids were like, wait.
It's very generous of you.
And the phase 3 judges did believe that all 6 teams and all 6 toys definitely were worth investing in, so that was also exciting. So they didn't have to spend all of their money. These are the phase 3 winners. If you want to share anything else, 6th graders, students share your favorite part, or what you're most proud of.
So, so my favorite part was probably like building our toy because we had like 3, 4, 5 classmates to build it alone, and it was just really fun to work with your group to build something, I guess, like hands-on stuff.
I think something that was kind of cool is that we all got like assigned a job, but we still all helped each other as job. Like there was a prototype builder, an inventor person, a data collector, and like a slide person that worked on the slides while we were presenting. And I thought that was fun, but we all like helped each other out, and I think presenting was cool because it was like in front of like people that were giving you like feedback, and like they told you like what you could do to improve it or like what was good about it. I think it was cool how we got to have a hands-on project and like you were doing it for like something that like actually is needed. I thought that was good.
Yeah, my favorite part also was building the prototype and stuff too, and it was fun to like get different ideas, and we had to think, oh, like what would we add that could make this special, and make it something that would really work for the occupational therapist.
Anybody else? Do you have any questions? The sixth graders are willing to answer questions about the project.
So whose project got the most investment? I think we had 2 of them, right? There was 265,000.
Yeah, the 3 judges each gave out their money independent of the others, and so we all felt that everyone did a good job and deserved some amount of money, and so we gave some amount to the person we thought was best, and so on. And so it just so happened that there was a 3-way tie. So each of the different judges found something different. It was actually really nice to have the occupational therapist there because she had a much different perspective on some of the needs and requirements and what would be good for kids to play with.
So I think we have representation from one of the top 3 teams, right?
I believe, if I'm looking, is that correct? Brenna, and Ella.
Mrs. Jones?
My question to the group is, what surprised you the most during this project? Maybe just a couple of you could comment on it. Yes?
I was really surprised, how, I didn't, expect how it really was gonna be. It was just, really surprising how it was, how we got so into it, I guess. How, because it was really fun and, really, I don't really know. It was just, super fun, and I was, surprised from that.
Anybody else surprised about anything?
Yeah, I was surprised that we actually got to do it by ourselves and not have teachers help us and stuff.
I thought it was fun, when our teachers would, coach us, and, give us, feedback, okay, add this to your slideshow, or you don't need this part, and, you couldn't do this, and then, you gotta go off their feedback, and then once the next round of judging came, you would go in and you get it better.
Well, thank you very much.
So Mr. Dobbertin, they're by your...
Should we do the 6th graders?
Sure, we can do the 6th graders first. Since they're up here.
Okay, we've got a little certificate for everybody. Ella? Izzy? Jared? Jared, yeah, thank you. That worked for me. Is that right? No.
I got Bella too.
They'll get a break now.
Thank you.
I think that's it for 6th grade. Thank
Ready? Here we go. Just take care. 1. Okay.
We got some for...
All right.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Molly, can you help me get my...
Thank you for coming in. Make sure
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I hope you guys get everything straightened out.
Joe, thank you so much.
I texted them all like 6 morning. I'll make a motion to better than Indiana. Oh my.
You're including all four.
I'm including all four.
Motion and second, are there any additions or corrections? All in favor, then say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. We are on to the bill listing, financial report.
Voucher listing for February 22nd, 21st, 2019 through March 4th, 2019. General funds payroll, check numbers 553-725 through 553-727 for $647.98. Next direct deposit numbers 900048749 through 900048855 for $138,347.74. Next, wire transfers for payroll liabilities. Wires numbers 201800220 through 201800235 for $226,122.36 for a total payroll of $365,118.08. Next, accounts payable. Checks numbers 53481 through 53529 for $35,696.82. Next, AP wire transfer number 201800222 for $440.43. Next, credit card transaction 0121 for $10,548.15. Next, ACH direct deposit numbers 181900127 through 181900134 for $1,310.56 for a total account payable of $47,995.46. Thus, total disbursements of $413,113.54.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions, concerns? And all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Okay, we have delegations. You've heard, we have no one that is signed to speak to us. If anyone have a desire to. Okay, we're moving on then to district administrator's report. We have no donations this time. Personnel action.
Yep, I'm sliding over. Thank you for passing them all the way down. Again, we started with 75 applicants, screened down to 20, interviewed 8 principal applicants, got it down to 3, and our top applicant, who is being recommended to the Board of Education, is Becca Stein. So Becca is coming to us from Marshall Elementary School, as well as this year she was part of the middle school. Prior to that, well, she spent 4 years as an elementary principal, and then spent 1 year as an instructional coach at Marshall, and then prior to that was a primary school teacher and a special education teacher in a K-12 system in Lake Mills. So we are very excited about Becca joining our team and filling big shoes over here. So again, just looking for a motion to approve the administrative contract for Becca Stein as presented.
I make a motion to approve the administrative contract for Rebecca Stein as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor then say aye.
Aye.
All the same sign. Motion's carried unanimously. Okay, we're on to information for the district administrator.
Nothing for today.
Okay, we're on to committee reports, the finance committee.
Okay. We met as a finance committee meeting on March 8th to review a couple items. The big one that we reviewed was solar, the finances behind the solar, projected solar project. Basically, we did have a representative from Sunvest come and talk to us a little bit about how the finances work, as well as a little bit about the paybacks and how things would work out from there too. So what you have in front of you as it relates to the solar is again, we're not quite sure how much it's going to cost. The RFP did go out on Friday. I sent it out to 5 different solar contractors. So our initial estimate is right around $750,000 to $800,000, and that could be before any possible grants, focus on energy rebates and things like that too. To fund it, again, we would recommend that the board consider borrowing either the entire project or a significant amount of the project. Per state statute, the Board of Education can borrow up to $1 million, and this would be an awesome way to borrow that X dollars amount, because ultimately the payback every year is approximately an estimate about $70,000, the initial. And if you borrow $500,000, the first payment is $71,250. So basically your energy savings is covering the cost of a $500,000 loan, which is pretty fantastic, for sure. So approximately 9 years is the return on investment with the solar project. So after 9 years, after that it's all savings, money in the bank, per se. So again, just wanted to kind of show some financials. We did bring in Katie from Sunvest to talk a little bit about how this all works. More to come as it relates to as we begin to get those RFPs in, but ultimately the financing is possible, and Sherry has begun to contact some banks about what a possible loan would be, obviously just to gather some more information to help with the interest rate and things like that too. So
she also gave us some good insight on how to compare the different quotes and make sure that they're apples to apples and using the same assumptions in terms of climate and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. So we've got to try to get some, Phil said, apples to apples comparisons, because ultimately there's a lot of different ways to get solar power on your roof, and into our schools. The second item was an insurance renewal. This year's United Healthcare insurance renewal came in at 9.9%. In addition to that, there's some federal health insurance taxes that are being applied this upcoming year for a total of 11.2% for healthcare renewal for this upcoming year with United Healthcare. The other pieces, items number 3 and 4, are basically just some budget items. Jennifer, Dean, and I were in Madison on Wednesday and learned a little bit more about what some of the proposals are. And again, we did hear that hopefully that the budget is going to be finalized. by July 1st. So,
He didn't actually say that.
no, they did.
The Republicans were going to present a budget by the end of
Yeah, she
June.
said the Republicans were going to present their own budget by then.
Yeah, but I never heard that they were going to
There was
get finalized.
another thing that came across July 1st. Now, everybody laughed in the audience, but seriously, it was like you were at a stand-up comedy show for many reasons. So, well, we're going to have something, hopefully, sometime before July 1st, at least we'll have some sort of direction, hopefully. But we're going to continue to move forward. Again, we've got our projections, we've got the Merton model to help work with us too as well. And then ultimately, we did supply the budget calendar for the 2019-20 fiscal year too as well. So that's it.
Okay. And we're on to reports and updates. We're not going to do anything there tonight. New business, there's a policy concerning school homework time that we should look at.
Sure. The WASB sent out a recent policy perspective, just highlighting that school boards should look to their district policy to see how we should possibly, if we have to make up any weather time due to inclement weather, snow, cold, or whatever might happen, to meet the minimum number of minutes required by DPI. Our policies are mute as it relates to does the school board need to gather a special meeting to then reset the student calendar, or does the district administrator have that authority? Now, this year was really odd, but I think moving forward, we should be ready to go. WASB did highlight the need to have this clear is because in our board policy, the school board does set the student calendar. So we do that right around November-ish, I think November, December for the following year. So just wanted to have a discussion with the board to see what direction, because then we can obviously make a quick policy and bring that to the board for a first read in April and then a final read in May. So just wanted to kind of get some dialogue and some direction about where we wanted to go. Again, there's two avenues to go. One is the school board would then come together for either a special meeting or during a regular scheduled meeting, or give the authority to the district administrator.
I'm leaning we should have it done by the school board, that we would make that decision with input from our superintendent, but I think we set the calendar. I think we should also determine if we're going to, how we're going to do the makeup days.
I agree with you.
Like makeup days if necessary? Because is this, I feel this is more a reactive response from the winter we had, which for the most part was an anomaly. So the likelihood of this having to be truly applied,
This is
very.
very clear. This year we did apply it. We made a half day a full day. I gathered input from the school board, the administration, and we did change the student calendar from originally approved from the board. Do I think we're going to use it? I don't know.
Yeah, I just think formally we should have it in the policy that makes the decision.
That's what they're recommending.
Right. And in my opinion is we end up making the decision for the calendar, we should probably be making this decision also.
That holds the calendar decisions consistent within one group and so.
I would agree. I would agree.
Like, I think, practically speaking, and even if it does become an issue in the future, Ron's, whoever the superintendent is, 10 years down the line when we get another winter like this, they're gonna make a recommendation and we're gonna say, sure. Right, like it's probably not.
But there's a special meeting that can only motion a second to.
But in terms of consistency of who's making these decisions, the calendar is the board's responsibility, so it makes sense that that's.
To keep with the board's responsibility.
If this winter happens again next year, I'm gonna laugh.
At all of you. Okay, so I'll move forward with creating a policy. As basically any modifications to the student calendar needs to be made through the Board of Education. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Next item on there is future meeting and agenda items. Is there anything that would like to see on future agendas?
For April, we will have first readings of the district curriculums for writing and physical education, as well as the first reading of the inclement weather makeup time policy. That's what I have.
Yeah, and also then coming up with time for a community forum.
We could put that on the agenda.
An open meeting with the board and the community.
Right, where it could be just discussed for an open forum, just for questions and answers and state of the union. Did we want to do it that, state of the district?
Put it on the agenda for the next meeting to discuss.
So would we start at 6:30?
We'll discuss the
Let's
date
discuss it.
for it at the next meeting.
Do it.
And discuss.
Because we technically, we can't discuss here, not on the agenda. We're just adding to the agenda.
Okay, well, and meetings, future agenda items and meetings. So if there's going to be a meeting with the board, we can set that. We've set community workshops and things at board meetings. So we're okay. We're okay. If we want to set a meeting of the board, we certainly can, and that's Katie's request for right now, is if we want to, or I can send a doodle poll out.
So, see, then here we get into the discussion of it. My question is when would be the appropriate time to do it? We want the most amount of people to attend. And sometimes it's hard for people to attend our meetings. So when is the end of April when all the athletic things starting up for the spring sports and things like that? Is that a time when it's going to be difficult to get people to attend?
I think everyone's always busy.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think it's probably the honest answer, Dean, right? That there's not
I just,
an optimal time.
you know,
I mean,
I just
steer clear of spring break, but I mean, other than that, right?
we only had 12 parents for the
Yeah, well, and we'll have to
principal.
we'll have to try and come up with some different ways of getting the word out for this event.
So do we want to set that meeting date? Do we want to go before the April 29th date? Do we want to, I can doodle poll the board about, doodle poll the board? Okay, sure, I can do that. I'll just kick out some dates. Any date to avoid of the week, avoid Wednesdays, avoid
Thursdays. Avoid Thursdays.
So Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday,
Monday or
they're
Tuesday.
usually out of town.
Okay, so Mondays or Tuesdays. I'll send a doodle poll out then. Okay.
Okay, I think we're to the next point of this meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
When's our next
I'm
meeting?
paying attention.
April 29th.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried, we are adjourned. We have a contract to sign. Do you have the one?
I got it.